That'd be closer. It's on.
All right, how about this? Is that better? All right. So this is the 12th annual Southwest Ohio Give Camp. Normally we do these in the fall, but a lot of uncertainty in the fall. There's still uncertainty now. We had to pick some time to do it. We wanted to try to do it in person in some regard because we feel that we get better projects, better teams if you actually meet some of the people working on your team as opposed to being 100% virtual, which we tried last year. It didn't work as well. So thank you everyone for coming tonight in person. There's a few people that also didn't want to come in person that are online, and Jason's monitoring that on Teams for the meeting for that. So we'll do some introductions of nonprofits first. We'll go over some of the layout and demo how we're going to operate the rest of the weekend because we're doing it different than we normally do. Normally we're all in person working together in the same room and that sort of thing. But first we'll introduce the nonprofits. So typically the opening or kickoff is for the volunteers to understand what the projects are, and then immediately after this meeting, immediately after the introductions, we're going to pick the teams. And so that way, listen to what projects there are, listen to what the technology is, so you can decide where you think you would fit best on what team. So our team of organizers, I'm Eric Swartz, like I said, Matt Brewer's there. Jason Roby is here. Mike Theron is there. Angie Roby's in the back. David Dahl is over here. He's actually leading a team also. And Tim Lewis wasn't feeling great this week, so he's actually on teams from his house. So, but I think with that, we'll start kicking off organizer introductions. So someone from 1N5 wants to come up. Come on up.
Okay.
Give us a 3-4 minute of your organization introduction, and then Alan can describe the project and what people will need to help do it.
Hi, I'm Nancy Eigelmiller, and I'm the Executive Director of 1N5. I want to thank everyone for picking us to do this project. 1N5 is a local nonprofit, and we work to put mental health education programs into schools. We work with about 100 schools right now, plus the 6 universities. And we really work to educate. We're doing all the prevention work, and we're working with students, staff, and parents. We're very data driven. So the project that we have is about data that we do for a climate survey that we do at all the schools that we work with to understand that culture of that environment. We believe very strongly that every environment is different. And so we really need to understand that in order to do the right programs at that school. We also do a lot of work out in the community. But this project is really focused on that school part of it. When we talk about this project, so I talked about this climate survey. As I said, when we go into a school, we do that climate survey with the students, the staff, and the parents. And then out of that, we actually present a report to the school to look at where the holes are and how do we fill those holes. And those are by programming, different programs that we would provide to them. There's a lot of data. We probably have data from about 35 schools right now. And in order to manipulate that data, what we want to have is a scoreboard that we can manipulate the data really quickly on the fly. Right now, we have to do all of that in Excel, and it's very, very cumbersome. So how do we take that data that we can see it in a very graphic format and be able to slice and dice it? So if I say that I'm working with Reading, how can I take Reading and compare that to Norwood and to North College Hill and show them very quickly how they stack up? Or how can I take suburban schools and say, how do the girls compare to the boys, kind of a thing? So how do you slice and dice that data? So that's sort of a rundown of the project. So.
Thank you. All right, so what we're looking for is we're taking the data. They have a SurveyMonkey application, and they go and download Microsoft Excel files with the results of the survey. So what they are looking for is something with very easily be able to filter the various parameters based on questions, based on like the school district data and things like that. So at the moment, it's a pretty open-ended solution. I don't have any one specific thing in mind as far as the solution. So we're looking for people who maybe, if you're a wizard, maybe there's just a simple Excel solution. Or maybe they're not against maybe perhaps renting some service space on maybe something like Azure, and maybe set up perhaps something like SQL Server reporting and something like that. So if you're into data processing, presenting data, doing queries, all that kind of stuff, that's what we're looking for. So thanks.
I didn't mention, for the people that are online, we have this fancy camera that looks like two owl eyes, an owl camera, and it's a 360 camera. So it's kind of a view of the whole room, and then whoever's speaking, it zooms in on that person. So there's a picture of that and a picture of the whole room to try to get everybody that's not here in person included like they are here. So next up, we have guiding light mentoring. Ken Baum is the lead for that one.
I have my coat on because I'm cold. But yes, I am Letitia Owens. I am the CEO and founder of Guiding Light Mentoring. And what we do is work with at-risk youth just to make sure they're staying on the right track and for graduation and just making good, healthy decisions out in the community. And we do that through one-on-one mentorship. Outside of that, we do some summer programming. We actually offer the students in our program with scholarships if they want to continue furthering their education. And then we also offer tutoring as well. And so our project is with the mentors, and we need to document the activities that they're doing, as well as calculating how many hours of mentoring they're doing and the student is receiving. So we're using Excel, and then we're have things in OneDrive. So we have things everywhere. So we just want like one place where we can store all of this information. So that's really what our project is, creating a member portal where the mentors can, type their activities, and it'll be easy for us to download the reports of how many hours they're getting. That way we can present it to our funders as well as community partners and things of that nature. And then also with our board members, again, we're just using OneDrive, but what can we use that way they can access that material as well? So maybe having a member portal for the mentors and then also for the board members as well.
So the site is done in Wix. So we're looking for people that maybe have experience in Wix. We've been playing, me and Charlie have been playing with Wix all week, and it's pretty flexible and powerful to customize my two. Okay, thank you. It's sounding too loud.
You should be used to that microphone.
I know, I should. Anyway, my apologies. I'm not gonna repeat it.
Oh,
Anyway, so if you as much as we can, we're gonna try to stay within the Wix parameters, but we're open to other options too. So we'll have to, once we get the team together, we'll have to huddle and decide what we're gonna do with that. So, next.
Adventure Crew, and David DeLola is the lead for that team.
Hello, my name is Miriam Wise, and I work for Adventure Crew. We are a nonprofit that serves city teens, connecting them to nature through outdoor adventures. But we are here today to focus on our largest community project and fundraiser, which is the Ohio River Paddle Fest, conveniently occurring right through that door. So if you are a part of our project, you are welcome to walk outside and see our Friday night Expo site and our launch site, which we are hoping to create a map of. Last year, we introduced a bunch of exhibitors and features to our Friday night event, which is the evening before our Saturday paddle. We had 40 exhibitors, lots of people, and no way for people to easily know where everything was within the site. So they ended up wandering around. We'd love for them to have something that is a little interactive. They could click around and see, oh, this exhibitor, this is where the beer is, this is where the music is. So we have hopes that it would be something that we could, John and I, with low tech ability, be able to use from year to year. So it can't be so sophisticated that we can't update it because we'd love it to serve the event, for a while.
As she said, we'll be doing a map development that is part of the work. So that will be primarily some front-end developers. So if anybody has experience with just HTML5, JavaScript. We're going to be using a tool called Maplet. It's a JavaScript-based plugin. So we're going to be learning that tool inside and out and trying to do everything that they want to be able to do with that one tool that's already built. We just got to interface with it. For the data organization that helps populate the map, just going to do some simple ASP.NET Core forms. So, and we have an Azure SQL database set up to put some data in. So nothing too complicated from either side, but if either of those are your thing, come see me. We may need a graphic for the base map. It does require that we have a vectorized image, and I think we have a sample of last year's.
Oh, don't look at that.
No, no, we do not have a sample of last year's map. So-
Very good idea of how it should not look.
Okay.
Right, that, yes.
So we will make a map as a sample map just to make sure so that they can start putting some points onto that map. So we will need someone to help us with that.
All right, so those are the 3 projects this year. Other years we've done GiveCamp, we've got a lot more volunteers. We've done 10 or 12. Like I said, we plan on doing this our usual time of October next year, so you can get back to normal. I actually had about 6 or 7 nonprofits contact me after the applications even closed this time. So there are probably 15 that didn't even get an apply or didn't get selected or apply this time. So there's plenty of nonprofits out there as long as we get more volunteers. So tell your friends and hopefully things go back to normal. We'll do this back with a big group in person next fall. So schedule, you're here now, kickoff presentation. We have this building till midnight. If anyone wants to stay and keep working like we did other GiveCamp and work till late, that's fine. The rest of the weekend, we're gonna do things virtually. And Jason will tell you in a minute about how we're gonna do that. We're gonna have a closing presentation Sunday because part of the fun of the closing is the teams showing off what they did over the weekend and showing the projects they did and that sort of thing. But we're gonna do that one virtually as well through Teams, and we'll send it out through Teams, the invite for the meeting, so everybody can join it and watch it from the comfort of their home, see what's going on. The things that aren't on here, we'll have, we always do, tonight before each team leaves, we'll at least talk to you, or we may have a stand-up fully with both the team leads and the nonprofits to just see where you guys think your projects are at, whether you have any concern for the weekend. Then we haven't set up the schedule because we're going to see how things went tonight and set it up for virtual stand-ups both tomorrow and Sunday, like we would do in an in-person event. And we check in with team leads and nonprofits not quite as frequently, make sure there are any stumbling blocks or hurdles, whether we can shuffle some people around to help fill some gaps. We could call people that we knew that weren't at GiveCamp to answer questions before. We've done all kinds of things to try to solve problems. So that's what those are going to be for. But they are officially scheduled yet because we haven't done it this way before, so we're gonna see how it works and play it by ear. So the building was open till 8 or till midnight. We're supposed to lock the doors at 8. So if you happen to go out to your car or something, there's a sign on the door with number. Matt's number is also here if you want to write it down just in case. But if you happen to go downstairs to your car, go out to get something, get locked out, the door will be closed at 8. But we'll still be here to let you in. So. With that, Jason, you're gonna do it from there. You have the microphone there.
Okay, so hopefully you guys can hear me. Eric's gonna mute his. No, it's just we'll see if it echoes. Anyway, what I'm going to do is echo, echo, echo. Technical difficulties. Bear with it just a minute here. Yeah, can you just turn your volume down? Is it the owl? Yeah, we're not building the sites. That's why we're managers. We tell people what to do. You can probably just unplug the owl? Okay, we got the echo gone. We thought. I keep talking, we can figure out where the echo is coming. Oh, that's awesome. All right, I'm gonna not use this. No, it's still gonna echo. I'm gonna mute myself, Eric, and just see if I can talk loud enough so you can hear there. Yeah, it's just Eric isn't displaying anymore on the screen. Well, I'm going to show you how to use Teams. Yeah, so, but we have to get it up on the screen. Oh. Here, I can do this. Bear with us, guys. Yeah, and like they said, we're not doing the website, so thank goodness for that. I have to open up. You got it, Eric, or do you want me to try to connect to Chromecast? Oh, this is funny. You know, and the thing is, we rehearsed this and we checked everything before you guys all got here. This is the one thing we didn't test. So, yeah, test all the time. All right. So here we go. We're using Microsoft Teams this year. We've used Slack in the past, but with our subscription that we have with Office 365 and everything, and it seems like a lot of the world has gone to Microsoft Teams over the last 2 years. We're hoping this is a familiar tool for everyone, but if it's not, this is just a quick introduction. Each team has their own channel in the 2022 GiveCamp winter, because we're hoping to have a 2022 GiveCamp fall. So please come back this fall with us. But each of you guys are going to have your own channel, and in those channels we've got some tools for you. But before I get to those, the general channel is where we're planning on having all of our stand-ups. So we'll be scheduling those. We'll be having meetings in the general channel. We'll give you guys alerts. Team leads really need you to be there for those stand-ups. We'll stay in contact. If you guys have any questions, anybody, like when you're working at home, you need to get a hold of organizers, we have an organizers tag. It's just a quick @organizers. And you'll be right in, you'll notify all of us at that time. So in each of these teams, each of these channels, because each team in Microsoft Teams has a channel. I wish they would have named this product something else than Teams. But anyways, in this channel, so 1 in 5, this is your main conversation pane where the posts are. Feel free to share whatever files you guys need. We are on an actual subscription of O365, so there should not be any limitations to the files you share here. It is very secure. So we also have that accounted for. So you should open any kind of files you want up here in Teams. Great place to share, put everything out there so everybody has access to it. If you need to take notes, feel free to use the Wiki tab here. It's a great place to put important information that you need throughout the weekend, especially since we're remote, we're gonna be hybrid. You guys wanna make sure that you have this, any kind of style guides or any kind of information that you want the team to have as they're working, put it out here in the wiki. We went ahead, you don't have to use this, but we'd like for you to use something to organize your work. We went ahead and created boards for everybody. We did not put columns in, so feel free to organize those columns however you want. If you want to have a backlog or working on complete, if you want to do it by feature, whatever makes sense for you guys. But this is a board just like Trello or something like that. Each one of you guys have one of these in your channels, and there's also a whiteboard. If you guys need to get in and do some collaboration sessions using the whiteboard here, you can put Post-its up here, so you can actually use this to track your stories if you want to, whatever makes sense for you. So we just wanted to give you a quick tour of Teams. If you guys need help, the best thing to remember, @organizers, get a hold of all of us. We're going to jump in and help you. It's our job to help remove barriers for you guys throughout the weekend, whether you're here or remote. If you're having trouble tracking someone down, let us know about that too. So that's a little bit about Teams. Did I forget anything?
Well, one thing.
I forgot one thing.
Well, everybody should have received a, if you have not, completely or for the nonprofit, I've only been the contact person on LinkedIn. Yeah, others, you need to email them.
Yeah, and for those of you on Teams, you probably couldn't hear Mike, but you're good because you're on Teams, so you didn't need to hear what he had to say. So no worries there. So we probably needed to Al turn back on though, so everybody else can hear that. All right, we're transferring it back to Eric.
There we go. Got it. We're back live, Jason. All right. We handled that better in the other direction. Well, you're the next thing anyway. So, how about that?
Yeah, so
You guys stand up now?
yeah, and now I have the echo, but I'm the only one because I'm monitoring the live feed too.
Oh, you're not sharing? No.
Oh, Eric's going to share the presentation. We've done this 12 years. I'm telling you, I don't
Not
know.
like this, though.
Not like this.
This is our first
We've
time.
done everybody in a
Very
room.
casual approach here. All right. So as Eric gets the presentation back up on screen, we have a number of generous sponsors every year that have been there. And a lot of these organizations have been there every year since we've been doing this. It takes a lot of money to run a traditional give camp. And a lot of it's in food and facility is probably our biggest expenses. We only have one meal this year, and the facility was donated by Engage. And so we didn't have expenses there. So we weren't asking for money this year. Instead, we asked our sponsors to give us some swag. And so we put together a little survival kit. Before you leave, make sure if you haven't already got it, there's some brown boxes in the back that are clearly labeled survival kit. So you should be able to identify those. There are goodies in there. There's snacks to power you through the weekend. There's some really cool swag in there that our sponsors have donated. Also on that back table, there's some t-shirts, frisbees, extra notepads. There is a notepad in your box already, but if you need more, they're there. And on the left-hand side, we have some pint glasses and some like Yeti tumblers. They're not Yetis, but they're stainless steel like that. So what's that? And we have a refrigerator full of soda, and there's soda on the floor back there. So we've got some Kroger bags, and you guys should take drinks home to help get all the caffeine you need to make it through the weekend. So load up. Honestly, I don't want to carry it back down the stairs. It was hard enough carrying it up here. So whatever you guys can carry down is going to help us out. So that's sponsors this year.
So we'll do this at the end. This was our reminder, because last year we did 100% virtual. We forgot to do a group picture, which we usually all did in person, and we were just going to take a screenshot of Teams, and we might do a combination. We might do a screenshot of Teams of the people on there, and then we got enough people here. We need a tripod in here because we have plenty of people here. So team selection. Let's go to that next, and then we'll take a group picture after that, since everyone's sitting and can listen. So team selection, we have 4 rules with team selection. Each nonprofit should have at least 3 volunteers engaged most of the time. Usually we say in person, but we had to change that because people aren't in person this year. Each key technology should be represented in some capacity. A team can have more than 1 designer if all other team does not have at least 1 designer, because designers are usually limited. And then everyone must be on a team. So you guys are already kind of at table, so it makes it easier anyways. So we'll have everyone that volunteers stand up and you can go to teams. So Adventure Crew is here. 1 in 5 is back there. Guiding Light is over here. So at this time, stand up and check and see where you're at. Jason's going to monitor the people that are on teams and figure out what teams they want to be on.